We've got Sean from Rug Doctor.
Official title,
Yes,
Digital Marketing Manager.
A few ears have just pricked up.
Yeah.
Now they're like, did you know? What's his email? Yeah. I'm going to ask you all the questions that influencers want to know from brands.
That's the first question I always ask people to get in contact with me is, what are you expecting from this?
You should always be approaching from a genuine point of view of building a relationship.
If you're an influencer, you've also got to see yourself as a brand. The amount of messages I get back that say, what do you mean by stats? What's a rate card and what's a media pack? Now, believe it or not, brands look at Follow Friday and things like that.
What do you look for in an influencer?
This is a job interview when you're approaching me for a collaboration.
I'm starting to wonder how we ever work together now. I'm thinking, if you had to give a piece of advice for influencers, what would it be?
But that's a question that I have for influencers, if I'm honest, is where do your price points come from?
But obviously a bit of a bugbear from the influencers' point of views are when brands expect influencers to work for free. That David podcast, it's like magic. Right, lovely, welcome back to That David podcast. I never know how professional to be when introducing these. But today on the podcast, look at all this. This is mega, isn't it?
Yeah, look at it.
We've got Sean from Rug Doctor.
Hello,
is that how we should introduce it? Sean from Rug Doctor.
Official title, Digital Marketing Manager.
A few ears have just pricked up.
Yeah.
Now they're like, did you? What's his email?
Yeah.
What's his email? Like, where can we find you? Are you the Rug Doctor social media guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% of everything that is put out to the world for UK and at the moment Europe is me.
Oh, you do Europe as well?
Yeah, so basically we're an American company, but that's all done by them.
Yeah.
All the UK and Europe stuff is me. All the digital stuff is all me.
And I would urge anyone to go and follow the Rug Doctor stuff, because Rug Doctor, you're like, right, so it's a carpet cleaner.
Yeah.
Which obviously, to be fair, it's not that interesting, is it?
No.
But the marketing, the social media posts you put out, the way Rug Doctor are going about this new world we live in of media marketing and stuff is better than any companies I've seen, in my opinion. Not just because you're here. Danetta, you can back me up on that. I have said that.
But I mean, that's what we try and do, because it's not a sexy thing to do, cleaning your carpet. Do you know what I mean? It's filthy.
I don't know. Have you seen some of them speed cleaning videos on YouTube?
Yeah. Well, it's funny you should say that. We tried to get in with someone on a speed clean video and said, "Oh, do you mind putting us in?" And then we realised what the phenomenon was rolling into, and we were like, best leave that alone.
Yeah.
Because our name and things like that. There's people always make a joke about the Rug Doctor.
Right, I'm with you.
So it's a bit close. So
Can you imagine being on a speed cleaning video and they're like, I thought you were putting us in. We did. He was at 1 minute and 1 second. Did you not see?
No.
You're on fast forward. So we should say that today's podcast episode is sponsored by the lovely people of Rug Doctor.
It is indeed.
Which is amazing. Me personally, being David and Danetta and That David podcast, have worked with Rug Doctor 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, so the first time was a blog when you were Dad v World.
It's like we're going back. Did we go to school together?
We might have done. But so that must have been 2 years ago, maybe?
Easy.
Yeah, it's got
definitely,
to be.
yeah.
And then I loved that. So we did the TV ad.
The TV ad. A guy at the end of my street who I'd never spoke to before. We were delivering Christmas cards. Was it just before Christmas, that ad?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. We're delivering Christmas cards to everybody on our street because we like to pretend we're middle class, we're not. and the geezer's like, I was walking outside of his gate after posting it with my little boy, and he's like, hey mate, and I'm like, oh hey mate, just delivering Christmas cards, like thinking I'm not a canvasser or like, posting weird stuff. He's like, did I see you on Rug Doctor advert? And I was like, yes you did, yes you did, mate. Yeah, it's like magic. And then we had a couple of people that my phone when that advert went out went mental.
I bet. Yeah.
People messaging, I've just seen you on telly. What are you doing on telly? And by that time, I didn't even know it were out because I didn't actually know the day it was going out.
No, it's a funny one because we booked an allotted amount of airtime, and then something happened, so we had to push it. So it kept getting put back week by week, and we didn't really know what day it was going to go out until the Friday before the Monday it started. So it just went out, and then it was.
My teenage girls were saying that even at school, some of the people were mentioning it to them. Like, I don't know whether one of them did say, somebody said to him like, "Rug doctor is like magic," because that's what we say in the thing. The funniest thing about that, by the way, is Donetta actually said that, but she said it like, "Oh, it's like magic," or she said it like kind of just off the cuff, a bit quieter. And then I later on in the initial video, because that video is obviously clips of different people. I actually then said it like proper at the end. So she's always like, "You took my line. That should have been me."
So Donetta's the creative force around this whole thing.
100%.
Okay.
I wanted it to just be David, but she insisted David and Donetta.
If you're doing it, I'm doing it as well.
Exactly. Yeah, so we worked together on the Dad V World stuff.
Yeah.
We did the advert. We're doing a couple of Rug Doctor ads.
We did the Flex Clean stuff.
Yeah.
Where we gave you sent the Flex Clean out to you. You did a full length, sort of 4 or 5 minute blog for us. We then put that down into a 30-second commercial, which went around online. Yeah,
I remembered it. I'm sure I saw one thing with like 90,000 views or something or other.
People like you, mate.
I don't know.
They do. I mean,
it's very good marketing.
But people are really responsive with our product, especially to real people.
Yeah.
And everyone that we worked with on the TV ad initially was great. But people just kept coming back to that. It's like magic.
Yeah.
And a big part of it as well was obviously, you've said now that Donetta came up with the line. So this is...
Yeah. So I'm going to have to give her all the money.
all the royalties. But people are really into it because you're a bloke as well. And people associate especially household cleaning stuff, with women, which is wrong, but it's just what people do.
So Rug Doctor and David are breaking stereotypes, is what we're saying.
That's it.
This is how, when I started this podcast a minute ago, I'm saying Rug Doctor are doing the right things.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying. It's all about people buying from people.
Yeah.
And us being able to show you guys that this is actually what you need to do and what works. You know, we could have a really glossy feed if we wanted to. You know, we could do really, high polished Photoshop product images all the time, and it could just be, highly staged photographs and stuff like that. But that's not the brand that we are.
No.
We are utilitarian, and it's not. I'll be honest with you, it's not a fun job to do clean your carpets.
No,
you've done it. It's not nice, and you do it.
You feel like a scrubber.
Yeah, and you've got this tank full of just dirty water, and it's just not an attractive job to do. So
no,
it's important for us to get across that. It's something that you've got to do, but the only way we can do that is with real people.
Yeah.
And it just works for us.
That's good.
And I like it because I get to meet guys like you, and I get to do stuff with people that wouldn't normally get the chance to work with a big brand, because we're actually a lot bigger than people might think that we are.
Yeah.
Because our social medias aren't massive. Because I only came into work marketing for Rugby about 2 years ago.
Right.
Before that, all the social media was with an agency.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know how much you know about marketing agencies and stuff like that, but they do lots of stuff.
Yeah.
And the one that we
So they
use,
were in control, of the social media, which immediately says to me, if they don't understand that brand day in, day out.
Yeah. And to full credit to them, they are really good. We continue to work with them today on other bits and pieces, and they did do a good job. But when they're an agency doing loads of other stuff for us as well, they haven't got the time like I have, and they don't know the product like I do to be able to attack it and really see the demographic and really see the people. So we brought it back in, and we're growing. And, the first one to grow was Facebook, because it's the easiest one to grow.
Yeah.
In all honesty, it's easiest for a brand. It's really easy. For a blogger or an influencer, Facebook is nigh on impossible.
Yeah.
Because of the how do you put it? The way people are on Facebook towards other people.
Yeah, there's a lot of dickheads.
Yeah,
I can say that.
Yeah. And it's personal accounts and the way people are towards bloggers on Facebook, I think, is worse than on a lot of other platforms. But for brands, it's great. Yeah. Because, the way that Facebook works, the demographics changed. So I've been lucky enough to work around Facebook since 2006 when it came out.
So you are a pro.
So I know it sort of inside and out, from personal to my own business accounts to then running accounts for various different things. So I know it works, and I've seen that demographic change from people who were 18, 19, 20, up to 25 to it's now people that are 35, 40.
Yeah, it's good.
45.
Everybody.
So for a brand that sells carpet cleaners and stuff like that, they're the people with disposable income.
Yes.
So it's a great avenue for us to really get into. And so then Twitter works really well for us with competitions.
Yeah.
Because it's
so you like Twitter? Because I was going to say, because we're going to do a big giveaway for the Rug Doctor.
Yeah.
And I was straight away like, we'll do this on Facebook because I think that is the best place.
Yeah.
And to get to give more people a chance of winning, a better chance, Facebook's the way to go.
We'll do it across every platform.
Every platform.
Yeah. So we'll do Facebook, we'll do Twitter.
Yeah.
So we'll give everyone a chance to enter.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, wait till the end. We'll drop out some details on how you can enter a giveaway or to win. Is it to win this exact one?
That exact one. So that is brand new. That is launched probably not even a month ago. So it's hot off the press.
We're bringing you exclusives on this podcast.
Exclusives, yeah. Dropping bombs.
And it's the Rug Doctor
Pet portable spot cleaner.
See, I'm going to have to... We might not be giving this one away.
Is that one staying at your house?
One. Yeah, possibly. Because I've got a pug and Jesus Christ, she's messy.
Yeah.
I need to be cleaning all the time after her.
So
I'd rather have another 4 kids and swap them for a pug because they're not as messy as the pug.
Really?
Yeah.
See, we're thinking about getting a dog.
Don't get a pug.
Oh, see, that's what I like.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll give you mine.
This is
there
what,
you go.
Swap it.
Yeah.
This is
I'll swap you that. There you go. Right.
Perfect.
Thank you for listening. Subscribe. Bye. That is great. So, so we're going to give a Rug Doctor away to That David Podcast listener or viewer or whatever you want to call yourselves. Maybe I was going to say, maybe we should have a name for you all, and then I thought, you don't be a dick.
No, let's come up with a name.
Yeah. Well, I have got a friend who does a podcast, and he calls his viewers the podcasters. Ooh. Podcasters. I thought it's a bit aggressive, but
it's
like
good,
it.
though.
Yeah. I suppose we should mention it. You lot who are listening through audio on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, wherever, you won't see this. But I'm actually wearing a T-shirt, a Rug Doctor T-shirt. There's a T-shirt, Sean's wearing another T-shirt, and then there's a T-shirt on the desk. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see all this. Tell me about the T-shirts, because I just put a T-shirt on, I'm like, ooh, new T-shirt, and it's black, and it says Rug Doctor on, I'm happy. But these are album covers,
all album covers. Yeah, so what we did, the one that you've got comes from our American Big Brother. So they came over to visit us beginning of the year, and they bought a load of those with them.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'd try and go one better.
Yes.
So that's the Run DMC one, which is great, works really well.
I love it, and it's the podcast colours.
Yeah.
Black, red and white. I think you thought about this.
Definitely have. See, I told you. Whenever I open my PC at work, it's your face.
Well, no one else has ever said that
there
ever.
You are.
Not even
your wife.
Not even
no. But yeah, so they brought those over, and I wanted to give it a UK twist.
Yeah.
So this one is the Sex Pistol. Never mind the bollocks, but it's now never mind the vacuum. Here's the Rug Doctor. And on the back of the shirt, which you won't be able to see, we could flick it over.
Let's flick it over.
It's the back side of the album cover with all the song names changed to things about carpet. So what was Pretty Vacant is now Pretty Carpets.
Spotless, no more mess.
And Anarchy in the UK is now Cleaning in the UK. So.
See, this is what I'm saying.
It's highbrow marketing that we're doing, you know.
I mean, this is it. This is going back to when I opened the podcast and I'm saying I really like what Rug Doctor did. That's why I'm more than happy. Whenever I'm speaking to people about brand deals and all this stuff, because obviously I've got a lot of friends in the blogging influencer industry and stuff, and I'm just like, I work with lots of people and some of it's very just black and white. Will you just tell people about this product? Yeah, cool. But then a lot of it's like, look at what you're doing. Like, just these little quirky things here are then what stand out now. Because now what people are going to do listening to this or watching this, they're going to be like, I'm going to go and have a look at them. I'm going to click on Rug Doctor and have a look. I'm going to get
100 emails and see if people can have one.
Yeah.
See, this is even a working barcode for one of our retail machines.
Ah.
So it's just...
This is
you know
incredible.
what I mean?
So if there's any people out there that are watching who are from brands, steal some ideas. Steal some ideas, because Rug Doctor are leading the way, I think, in the world we live in today.
I appreciate that, and that's flattering, because it's really what we're trying to do is really be relatable, because I'm a human. I know what I like to see.
That's it.
And I do, there is some brands where I want to see a glossy feed. Do you know what I mean? If I'm looking at, I don't want to name drop any brands and get you in trouble or anything like that.
No one will get me in trouble.
But brands like Dyson then, or something like that, right? I want to see a glossy feed, because it's a £600 Hoover. So your feed better look professional. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, BMW, Mercedes, I want to see the production value. I want to know that you spent £100 million on your advert.
Yeah.
Because...
BMW drivers, though.
Don't.
That's a different podcast. Wankers.
Yeah, bring me back for that one. It'll be a much different podcast.
Yeah. Well, when we, as people like listening and follow, especially on Instagram, if you follow David and Donetta or the podcast or whatever, you'll know my love for Rustic Pizza, the owner of Rustic Pizza. I don't think he'll mind me saying, drives a BMW, and I'm telling him how I think BMW drivers are wankers, and he's like, oh, I just bought one last month. So right. Rustic Pizza's doing well. Right, I've got some actual questions for you.
From real life people.
From the first few are all from me, and then I put it out to the internet, and the internet's spoken. I actually think a couple of them will be people that have worked with Rug Doctor. So that should be interesting.
Trying to trip me up?
Well, I did have a couple that were like, can you tell them about this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, not on camera. No, not really. They're all good. So, right, let's just jump into the question, because where I want to go down is, you're Sean, you work at Rug Doctor. We've established Rug Doctor are really into the influencer marketing side of stuff. You believe in it. You know that that's the way things are going. If not, well, we're already there.
It's there.
We're just opening more eyes to it and stuff. So with being such a forward-thinking and influencer-friendly brand, me being an influencer, I mean, I never identify myself as an influencer, because I think it sounds
I was going to say, what do you think of that term?
I don't like, if somebody else says, you're an influencer, I'd be like, I understand that that's true in the sense of influencer marketing, because I say this is what David and Donetta do, and people go, oh right, you've reviewed it and said it's good, we've got that trust, I'm going to do that, or I'm going to buy that. So I understand that's influencer, but I think to call yourself outright an influencer, I find it a bit dickish, because I don't actually think I've got any influence over anybody. I'm kind of just saying, look, even if it's not a brand deal, we're just like Rustic Pizza, they're just my friends. There's no deal involved. They're my friends. I'm like, I really enjoy this pizza and I love it. So I'm going to tell people about it. I'm not purposely like trying to influence it. It's like working with Rug Doctor, and I don't know whether Rug Doctor want me to say, but I'm not like basically saying to all of our fans and stuff, I'm saying, look, Rug Doctor sent me this. I'm going to use it. I've found out X, Y, and Z. Turns out it's amazing. It's incredible. Here's how I used it. Do what you want. Like if you don't want to buy it, like it's not. I don't really. It's like, you don't want to say I don't care, but what I want to say is like I'm here because I like creating content around things and stuff, but I'm not trying to influence you. I'm just saying, look, this is what's available. Here's how we did it. If it's
worked
cool,
for us.
if it worked for us,
work for you.
Might work for you. But I'm not gay. I think like to call yourself an influencer, it's almost like, right, I'm going to try and bullshit you into buying this product right now, and that's not what I'm about. I'm just like, look, this is good. I like it.
Give it a shot.
Do you want it? Just like, I like to think I'm talking to our audience like I talk to my dad or my mate. Like my dad says, I'm looking for some shoes, and I'm like, oh, well, actually, I bought mine from Thingy, and he's thinking, well, if you say they're all right, I trust that.
So it is influencing, isn't it? I think it's, but we're all influencers. People influence each other on a daily basis. Like someone might, I might say, I ate a rustic pizza today, like you said. I've got no tie to them. No. But they're going to go,
have after today.
Oh yeah. But they might go, I'll give that a try if I'm in Doncaster. Do you know what I mean? So it's always been a funny one to me to label yourself as an influencer. I understand it for the huge accounts. And I'm talking huge, like the Kylie Jenners and the people like that. Of course, because people do just buy stuff because she is wearing it.
I only ever used to have my hair cut like Beckham, or I only used to buy Adidas Predators because Beckham wore them. That's
and we're all guilty of it. We all have like a muse, if you like, that we follow and we go, oh, so-and-so does that, so I'm quite into that. But I think for some account, not accounts, I don't want to say smaller accounts, but people. It's a funny term.
There's all this thing in there now, like there's influencers, there's your micro influencers, there's your mini micro. I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
It's weird, but for the sake of all these questions, because almost every question says the word influencer, because I thought
it's a great term.
Yeah, like people understand what it means. So if you're purely just on Instagram, if you're a blogger, if you're a YouTuber, vlogger, whatever it is you're doing where you're building an audience online, we're going to call it an influencer. And with me being an influencer, and you being a brand, like you are the brand today.
I am the brand.
So this is what Rug Doctor looks like.
Yeah.
I thought the best thing to do, because much of our audience are people that are bloggers or want to be, or influencers want to be influencers. I'm going to ask you all the questions that influencers want to know from brands. And then obviously, maybe you might have something for the influencers, like, create good content, stop being shit.
That would be key.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is it, because I do get a lot of questions from a lot of people, and I'm like, well, I've had a look at your stuff. It's shit. like I don't always want to say that to people, but sometimes
you have to say that.
Yeah, you do. It's like it's tough love or whatever, because sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I want to get some brand deals, I want to do this. And like, how did you get started? And I'm like, well, for a start, you probably need to do this, this, and this, because you've got to. I think a lot of them don't look at it from your perspective. And why do you want to work with me?
Yeah.
Like, why? You've got to answer that question first.
Yeah.
You can't just go to a brand and go, hey, up, send me some free shit, because I'll tell me dad. Like, there's a bit more to it than that.
There is, and that's, and that's the first question I always ask people that get in contact with me is, what are you expecting from this? Like, this is a two-way relationship.
Yeah.
Your content and your feed looks great. Mm-hmm. So my interest is piqued.
Yeah.
But what are you expecting to come out of this? So what's your end goal from this?
Yeah.
Is it just to get something for free, or do you want to get engaged with the brand and carry on a working relationship?
Which is how I think that should be the ultimate way. If you're ever approaching a brand, this is me talking to you influencers, you should always be approaching from a genuine point of view of building a relationship.
Yeah, always.
Not just a one-off, like, oh, send me something for free, I'll do an Instagram post and then I'll see you later.
Yeah. For me, it's simple. People see us as brands, so they approach us. But if you're an influencer, you've also got to see yourself as a brand.
Yeah.
So
it's difficult, that.
Yeah, it is. But you have to. So you have to go out and be able to prove what you're doing or what you are going to do is worth it.
Yeah.
Because there's no point me coming to you with a Rug Doctor that doesn't suck up any water.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, oh, do you want to, David, do you fancy doing a promo on this for us? No, because it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So you have influencers and YouTubers, whatever you want to call them, they have to see themselves as brands.
Yeah.
And the biggest ones in the world do that.
Yeah, they
down
do.
to a T.
Relentlessly,
and they're everywhere. Mm-hmm. And they end up getting stationery made, and you go into WH Smith and suddenly they're all over the wall. Yeah. Because they're a brand. They
start having phone cases. For the audio listeners, just showing my That David podcast phone case. They're not available to buy, but get in touch with me if there's enough for you. I'll sell them.
Sell them. See, you're a brand. Sell it.
That is it. So the first question that I had then is, why work with influencers?
There's a lot of reasons, but for me, it's authenticity.
Yeah,
and that's a word that from work to life to everything, is just massively important for me, because we talked about it a bit earlier, but why wouldn't I want honest product reviews?
Yes.
Why wouldn't a brand want that? So why would I just want to show you a highly polished version of something and no one really knows how it works?
Yeah.
There's, it used to be you do that and you send it to a sect of product reviewers and things like that, and then you'd never really get a bad review from that, because the brand were paying these product reviewers to do this.
Yeah, it's almost like you may as well try it yourself.
You might as well, and a lot of brands do.
Yeah. Name them.
No.
Only kidding.
But especially smaller brands have been guilty of that for years, doing their own self-promotion and stuff like that. And every brand does it to a certain degree.
Yeah,
because you have to.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just authenticity, and it's the fact that you guys actually want to do the work.
Yes.
And that's the massive thing. So you're working with people that know an audience and have an audience, and are keen to expand that audience, because let's be honest, that's what social media is all about, and that's what a brand collab's all about.
Yeah.
It's about, well, I'm going to take their 10,000 followers, and hopefully everyone on that account transfers to mine as well. So you gain that.
Collaboration.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just being honest and open and real, and people's reactions as well is a good thing, because the massive selling point for us is the state of the water that comes out of the carpet.
Yes.
I
think it is rank.
And it is rank, and it's a big thing for a load of cleaning brands, especially, is before and after. And people love before and after stuff. And there's no better way to show it than someone, I don't know if you remember Pip Milburn from our TV ad, pouring it down the sink, screaming it's filthy.
Yeah.
And it's filthy. And why wouldn't I want a real person to do that for me?
Yeah.
Why would I want some actress or actor going, oh my God, this is awful? I don't want that, because it doesn't work. I don't buy it.
So we're saying authenticity for influencers is absolutely key.
It's number one. And there's a lot of accounts that portray authenticity.
Yeah.
And there's a massive difference.
Name a few. No, I won't.
But there is, and I don't know if they maybe don't know if brands see that. Yeah. And I do believe that there's some brands that don't, because they're not as entrenched in it as I am.
No.
They don't use it as much as I do to promote. So so bigger brands, someone with 500,000 followers goes up to them and they think, oh yeah, this looks like a real woman.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, it's not.
Bullshit. But fine, if for that brand it works. But for us, for what we do, it needs to be authentic.
You're back on.
Lovely, thank you. Obviously, no one in the world will know that just happened. Authenticity. I might have to leave this in now. Right. Here's a good one then. So, how do you measure if an influencer collaboration has been successful?
There's two ways.
Okay.
So you've got engagement on the post.
Yeah.
A post can have reach of millions, but if no one's interacting with it, what's the point?
Yeah. So we're talking direct, like comments,
shares, views and stuff, and people view time and things like that. Especially for YouTube, you're looking at things. If people are skipping you straight away and you're not getting any view time, your average view time's 3 seconds, then it's
I'm gonna have to speak to you off camera and ask about our stats.
But it's all about people interacting with it, because again, that's what makes it an authentic post.
This is something that I go back to a lot about. Oh, look at you! Aren't you good with your 20,000 followers? But only 2 people have commented on your post. It's like, what's the point?
And the thing, a lot of people measure likes, which is completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Instagram and now Facebook are looking to get rid of them completely shows you how important
so
they
they'll
are.
have it as a metric where you, as the person with the account, can see it, but it's not shown to anyone else.
Yeah.
So you can measure the likes. And obviously likes do have some relevance, but how many times do you scroll down your feed and just go...
Yeah, and a lot of the likes are fake likes, because I could easily, if you said to me like, oh look, this needs to go well, I'm like, look, I'm working with a rug doctor, I'm getting my mum, I'm getting everyone, I'm getting my dog, I'm like, my dog's actually got an Instagram account, we hadn't used it for years, but I'm like, you know what I mean, you could make up 10 fake accounts if you want, so you've automatically got 10 likes straight away, so it's difficult.
So the likes is a funny one, because they are important at the moment. Because people see them and people think, oh, why? For the end user, for the customer, they find them a bit more important, because it shows I can't think of the right word, but it shows people that the post is successful. Or they think what's in the post must be important.
Yeah.
But it's not a way to measure for a brand.
That's it. They play a part, but they're not the be all.
Yeah, no, they're not. It is just about comments, and the biggest one is shares.
Yeah.
Because if someone's commenting going, oh my God, that's great, that's one thing. If someone's going, oh my God, look at this.
Yes.
That's something completely different.
Yeah.
And that's the metric that, if you can get out of a post, if you can get 100 people to share it, then you've got 10 from that, and this is how the viral thing works. And it just creates this thing. It's all about comments, interaction. And shares.
So you measure it on engagement. Is something else that you measure it on? How a collaboration is seen as successful.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, you have awareness. Yeah. So you measure the awareness aspect of what it's done for you. So this is where you might look at likes. So a lot of people become aware of it, but you also have to be able to measure it through sales. So if
Is there a way to do that directly?
Yes.
There is?
Yes.
This is interesting.
It's Google Analytics based, so it's not.
Right.
You could do it through. So what you would do is your Instagram. You then go onto your Google Analytics, and you'd see how many people have come in from Instagram to your site, and you can see their journey through.
Right.
So if they come on, so this is how you know how to make a good website. Because if people come onto your site from Instagram and go, oh, they leave and they drop off. This is a big part of my job, is measuring why people drop off where they do.
Yeah.
So you get onto the site and people are going, and if people are going, oh, and they're onto another page, and they're onto another page. Yeah. You're doing something right. But if they go on and go, no, and they just kind of drop off. So that's the way to measure it, and then you can measure sort of the sale directly from Instagram into Google and then into your and stuff like that. So it's a whole thing. So influencers can't really measure a sales metric.
No.
Unless they're an affiliate. And they've
got like a special link.
A lot of the Amazon influencers and things like that, they will get a monthly report saying, thanks for your work. This is how many people bought a toilet roll holder because you said it was great.
Someone's definitely done that. It's something that we've never really. I've always known it's there, like affiliate marketing and stuff, but it's something I've never really kind of just gone for.
We don't do it.
And because it's also difficult. Like, we get offers all the time, every week, at least a handful of brands or businesses or whatever. Not necessarily big ones, small ones. They're all like, and we'll send you this baby thermometer through Amazon and like give you a special link, and everyone you sell will give you like 1%. And I just like, I can't. It's almost like, remember, is it Avon?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like that local Avon lady. And it's like, do I want to be an Avon lady? I mean, I don't know if that's sexist or whatever, but do I want to be an Avon representative for 50 different brands? Because then all David and Danette's website would become is buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this.
It changes your feed dramatically, especially when you see Amazon influencers on Instagram. Yeah. Their whole feed is changed. Yeah. It goes from one thing to, it becomes a sales tool, which is great. Do you know what I mean? And it is nice that Amazon have sort of looked at this influencer market and realised that there is something in it. You know, because they're the behemoth of the world. Yeah,
they're taking over.
They're literally taking over everything. But I'm guilty for I use them on a daily basis probably. So it's nice to see them in it. But I don't know how much creative control over your content you have if you're an Amazon influencer. Yeah. I'm not sure.
I don't know. These are things that people just starting and stuff won't think about either.
And you're exactly right. So if you have that email from Amazon, you think, let's do it. The content, I don't know how much of it's yours anymore, and I don't know how many guidelines there are. So if you want to be that authentic account, which brands like, you have to choose which way you're going to go. I'm not saying that you can't do both, because some people probably do that extremely well. They maintain their authenticity and they get paid through Amazon. Yeah. Amazing.
I think this podcast has a potential in the future to start affiliates, but more because we use a lot of an equipment. Yeah. That's the way I see it. Like when I think of some of the successful Amazon affiliates that I know, it's these people that talk constantly about gear. Here's the best cameras for vlogging on YouTube. Here's the best microphones for starting a podcast on YouTube. So then becoming an affiliate for gear for music or Newer or Bayring or whatever. It's like, that makes sense. And it's still authentic. Yeah. But I think when you're in the world like I'm in, David and Danette, where it's more about just, this is our life, how we go about it. If we then start going, this is our life, today we're using this bag, and you can get it through our Amazon affiliate.
Isn't it great?
People are going to be like, what are you doing?
You've lost your brand identity.
Yes.
Which is when a brand starts to just go down. Yeah. Or it can spike you up the other way, but you're sacrificing a piece of your brand that you once had. So it just really depends on what you want to do. Yeah. Because you could just go, this David and Danette stuff, we've done enough of it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just be the sales rep.
I say that once a week.
We've just had enough.
Yeah.
But, you know, you could just go, you know, that's enough now. So let's ride this sales wave and and you could monetize it.
I always just find, I've seen people do that, and I think, but then you're always on a timer. There's a ceiling to that. Like David and then I like to think we're literally just being ourselves. There's no end to that. We could do this potentially till we're 90.
Could do that. Yeah, exactly. You could be sat in a nursing home going, oh,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know who'd watch, but
someone will.
We'd have built up enough of a cult by then. I think.
A cult.
What we got here then? Here's an interesting one then. So listen up if you're an influencer. What do you look for in an influencer?
That's quite difficult. So for us, it's relevance of account. So I get quite a lot of, I call them lifestyle influencers, if you like. So their account is just about them. They don't particularly have anything going on. It's just their life, what they do, and that's it. Now they can be quite good, but they're also not directly in a field where I'm trying to promote to. So I will use a couple of those throughout the year because it's important to get it to the wider audience. But for us, it's important to channel it in the right direction. So we have certain sectors that we go through. So what I look for is someone that's big and active in the sector that is good for me.
Yeah.
So for me, it's home decor or decor, however you say it.
Yeah.
For me,
I have no idea how you say it.
All the people with houses that look quite grey.
Yeah. Their Instagram feeds look amazing.
Yeah, and that's a great. That's great for us because we're so different. Our Instagram feed can look a bit jumbled because of what we do.
Yeah.
Because of how we do things. Because there is just pours of dirty water and stuff like that. So if I work with someone that's got this gorgeous house, that kind of works because you've got the juxtaposition of both without me having to actually go ahead and change our feed.
Yeah.
I can take someone as a brand rep and go over here, they're repping our stuff and look what the aspirations that you can, you know. Yeah. So for me, it's relevance is a massive thing.
Yeah.
Like we started off with you all those years ago with a dad blog because kids make mess.
They do. That's a fact.
Do you know what I mean? And it works, and it spirals into other things. So it's just relevance and their engagement and their activity and how many people. Now, believe it or not, brands look at Follow Friday and things like that.
Do they?
And they look at the accounts that are shouted out by the most people. Right. So
we used to be in everyone's Follow Friday, and then we just stopped doing them ourselves, and now no one cares.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to have to get back on that Follow Friday.
Yeah, I mean,
I could never figure out whether it had done well for us. So I would just kind of like, this Follow Friday's great. If someone puts us in, I'm like, oh, thank you, cheers, because we like to speak to everybody. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, I never once thought, I've been tagged in a Follow Friday and I've just got 15 followers. Yeah,
so if you're on a Follow Friday, that is, and your name keeps coming up. Yeah. And it's someone, and it's within the area that I'm looking at, a home decor or like a mummy daddy blog or something like that. If you're in there and people keep mentioning your name, at some point I'm going to go, who are these people? Yes. Makes sense. But again, I don't know how that works with brands that run their accounts slightly differently to we do because, again, they haven't got their head in it all the time.
Yeah, that's it.
So
that's when it becomes for them just purely numbers. Yeah. Who's got the most followers? Right, we'll work with them.
And don't get me wrong, sometimes, there will be someone that will contact me who will have 500,000 followers, and there is at the moment. There's someone who's been on TV.
Ooh. I have. Were you?
And they do what they do on TV, and they've contacted me, and they've got 500,000 plus followers. Oh, wow. So I have to look at that and go, I can't say no. No. Because even if the engagement on that isn't great, compared to someone with 10,000 followers, it's still going to be better. Yes. So once in a while, you have to do that. Yeah. You don't want to be the brand that does that every time. Yeah. Because people just go, oh, look, it's so-and-so with this, it's so-and-so with that, and people stop caring. Yeah, they do. They do. And I think a lot of people as well, because I am a consumer. I'm not just an influencer. I'm not a brand. I am just a normal person that buys stuff from the shop as well. And you do start to think like,
when it's like with adverts on TV as well. Some adverts are fantastic and they go really well. I like to think the Rug Doctor one's cool. The way you put like my bit at the end is probably why that bit's become quite popular. Yeah. So it's great, just well strategically done well. Yeah. But yeah, when you see like some adverts and stuff, you do kind of just switch off.
Oh, 100%.
It's kind of like, oh, right, I don't really care. Yeah, and you stop
for me,
caring.
It's always the perfume adverts and things like that. So they get the celebrity. I think I saw one the other day with Margot Robbie in it.
Yeah.
It's the new Chanel perfume or something like that, I think. And it's great. You know, it's Margot Robbie dancing around. But
I prefer her with a baseball bat, chasing after
exactly,
Joker.
Yeah. But it's nothing. It's just her swirling around in a beige background. Yeah. It's like, what? I sometimes wonder, like, do you get to a point when you're a brand and you just go, let's just do what the fuck we like?
Yeah.
Because this means nothing.
Yeah, most of those adverts do.
They just mean
we're on a boat in the middle of nowhere in our pants.
Yeah,
and then we say something French.
Yeah,
and then
Savage.
Yeah,
and you go, oh,
yeah. I don't know anyone in my circle of friends or family that's gone, I'm gonna fucking buy that. Hey, it's on Amazon now. Yeah.
It doesn't happen, does it?
No, it doesn't.
You know, I would like to. You know, I'd like to get to meet some people that work for brands like that, and do they just go into like a boardroom and they say, right, TV ad.
Yeah.
Do what you fucking want.
Yeah, get someone good looking who's got abs.
Get a celebrity and just make them dance.
Yeah.
We'll pay them £1 million. It's
although,
fine.
I'll tell you, just slightly off topic, the meetings I want to be in is when they create these CBeebies shows. Like, who sat around the table going, let's have some things that look like, I don't know, avocados, but we'll give them a face and they just go, boink, 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 for about 10 minutes.
Do you remember Teletubbies?
That's a good idea, that. Teletubbies.
Who sat down and went, I know.
Yeah.
Let's have, was it 4 or 5 coloured round things and an evil baby as the sun and just let them run around.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of that other one that's got like, I mean, the Night Garden.
It was that
like
Iggle
Punky
Piggle.
Pines and Iggle Piggle, and like they're just running around doing I don't know what, but it's obviously there must be something to do with the colours on screen.
Well, it's dark and psychological of how to make it to kind of narrow a kid down.
Yeah, because kids love it.
And they just focus them in. It's just actually some quite dark psychology behind it.
Yeah.
But it's like, like
they're the meetings I want to be in.
Yeah, just to see.
I just always imagine like, is there just a load of Class A drugs on the table? Everybody indulge, and then the maddest ideas will come up. We all write it down, and then when we finally all sober up in a few days, we'll go, oh, that's good.
Let's film that.
Yeah, let's
do
either
that, or it's people that were Class A drug addicts.
Yeah,
getting into a room and going, I had this trip once, right?
Yes,
and just explain
that's
that.
Actually, a genius way to do stuff, isn't it? Yeah. I like that. That is definitely what's happening in there. I think we might have touched on this slightly, but what numbers are important from a brand's point of view? I think you're going to say shares.
As in? What?
Like views on videos or the amount of comments, the amount of shares.
So
like social media numbers, which you look at.
It is shares, but they're the hardest to get.
They are.
So other than that, it's comments, tags, people. Because a tag's almost as good as a share.
Yeah.
You know, because if I tag you in something and say, oh, David, check this out.
I'm likely to share.
You're likely going to have a look and whatever, or you're going to put a comment on it or something.
Yeah. Because I know being in the YouTube world, I keep telling people now, a lot of people come to me and they're surprised that I get work, basically, anywhere, because it's like, your numbers aren't amazing, and I'm like, no, they're not amazing, but do you know what it is? The community of people that I have backing me. Yeah. Like, when I do something locally, in particular, it's like, I don't feel like this, but I feel like a micro version, like Conor McGregor. You know, like when he's going into a fight, he's got Ireland backing him. Does the walk and everything. I might just start doing that in the vlog.
Gucci mink.
This is how I vlog now. No, but it's almost like sometimes I feel like whenever I'm doing something that's maybe important, like a brand deal or something, and it's a bit more important than your average stuff and that, I almost now get the feeling like I've actually got a town behind me. Like, because we do a lot of stuff with Doncaster, and I get a lot of local support, and naturally people like to support local until I get too big and then they want to take me down like with everybody else.
That's just British. That's the British way, isn't it?
That's it. So I like to think it's like, I keep telling people it's not about the numbers. Like, I think we were talking before the camera started rolling. where like the podcast YouTube channel, if you look at the numbers at face value, is it successful or not? I'm not sure there's an argument either way. Yeah. You look a bit deeper into the amount of people that are watching for a long time and keeping engaged and stuff. That's what's important, really. So, like we were alluding to earlier, 10,000 followers, but you get 20 likes and 2 comments. Yeah. I could have 100 followers and get 100 likes and 100 comments. What's more important?
What's more important? Exactly. And for you, what's more important? To have a few people on YouTube behind you, so have 10,000 followers, or have a town behind you.
Of my people.
Because that's tangible, that's real. That's you're in the community, you're doing something, and you can't buy that.
No.
Do you know what I mean? But you could have 100,000 followers, and still your local council would never approach you to do anything. If anything, they'd be saying, I'm ashamed that this guy lives here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A lot of the bigger councils, I'm sure like, local councils look at it and go, oh, God, they live here.
Yeah.
Such a shame.
That's right. And I'm so appreciative that our town has backed us as David and Donetta are, like, obviously the podcast is just a part of David and Donetta, really. But yeah, it does feel good, and it's almost like that's why we're doing as well as what we are doing. Because like, when you talk about success and stuff, it's different for everybody. Of
course it is.
My success isn't the same as yours. It's not the same as Jeff's. It's all different.
It's all relative, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's this. I'm finding this massively interesting because it's good, because what I like is I'll talk to Donetta, just me and Donetta at home, and I'll be saying stuff like, I think this is what's important. This is what's got to become important. It's got to become about the content, because anyone can have a viral post that's shit if they put some money behind it on Facebook and get a couple of people share it or whatever. It's like, but the content's got to matter more. And then now talking to somebody who's from the other side, the people that do pay the people like us, it's like, they do understand. We are getting there. Like there is like
it's
a common ground.
It's all about content.
If you had to give a piece of advice for influencers, what would it be, other than like make better content?
So make better content. Again, content is subjective, isn't it? So what I think is good, you might think is terrible, and vice versa. But the biggest thing for me is if you're going to approach a brand, be ready. Be ready to approach the brand. So I get a lot of messages where people approach me as a brand and they say, we'd really love to work with you. We've seen that you work with influencers, and they make it about what is going on, what they need our product for.
Right.
That's fine. That's great, and we can still talk. But it doesn't just need to be about what you need my product for. It's about what this relationship is. And just be ready. If I go back to you and say, okay, this is great, let's have a talk. Normally what happens is an influencer on Instagram, for example, will contact me saying, hi, I'd love to collab. And I send them back an email saying, that's great. Email me on my email address with your social stats, a rate card, and your media pack, if you have one.
Yes.
The amount of messages I get back that say, what do you mean by stats? What's a rate card and what's a media pack? It's really, really quite astounding. And these are from accounts that they're not massive, but they're not small. These are 10,000 follower plus accounts, right up to 70 to 100,000 followers, which are big fucking accounts. You know what I mean? And they're saying, and I say, some of them I'll go back to and say, sorry, I mean your insights on Instagram. Where do I find those?
Fuck. It's like them emailing you saying, I want to work with a rug doctor, and you emailing them back going, what's a rug doctor? That's
preparation. It's like, a good way to look at it on a less intimidating scale is, this is a job interview when you're approaching me for a collaboration. Do you go to a job interview with nothing and no clothes on?
Well, it depends on the choice.
It depends how it ends up.
Like it's in Babe Station.
Call me. But, it's just preparation, and it's just realism as well.
I think that comes under a little bit about what you said earlier about seeing yourself as a brand. If you're seeing 100%. Yourself as a brand, you are likely to be professional and thinking about, like, look, here's what I can offer. Because that's a big thing as well. I like to think, like, I'm not getting in touch with a rug doctor because I want a free rug doctor. That might be part of it.
Of course it is.
Most likely. However, you've got to say, why? Why should they? Because you influencer go into a brand, there's another, like, million of you So why
trust me,
pick
there's
more than 1 million?
There's hundreds on a daily basis, and it's the ones that are prepared 90% of the time that come through. Sometimes there will be the anomalies that aren't prepared, but you look at the account and you get a feel for the person, and you go, do you know what, actually this does work. And there is a lot of times where you see people that are on 10,000 followers kind of thing.
Yeah.
And their accounts just snowballed very quickly.
Yeah.
So they've gone from just having a personal account, really, where they've put pictures up, and something's happened and it's snowballed, and suddenly they're at 10,000 in a couple of months.
Yeah.
And they've
Can't happen to us.
and they've never thought about the brand or the insights part of it before.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That happens, so I totally understand that. But you can't tell me if you're sitting at 50,000 plus, you've never clicked on that little button that says insights. And if you haven't, everyone out there listening, do it.
Yes.
And be prepared. And just professionalism is key, because you wouldn't expect me to be unprofessional with you in the way that we go about doing business.
Yeah.
So you have to approach me it doesn't have to be super professional. I'm not asking for a paragraph, and you feel free to say in there, I've got really clean carpets. I think I can, I've got really dirty carpets, but I think I can make some great content.
Yeah.
At least mention the content. Don't just say, I'd love to work with you. I've got really dirty carpets.
Yeah. I'm starting to wonder how we ever worked together now. I'm thinking, I don't actually remember that first conversation.
I think the initial part was dealt with by the agency, I think. I don't think we started speaking until...
So, you didn't bother selecting, was it?
I wasn't working there then.
I'm really enjoying this, mate. Lots of really good advice, definitely. Yeah. And I think I'm maybe enjoying it for selfish reasons, like, I've said this, and now you're confirming it.
Why does no one listen?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is one you might not want to answer, or you might want to answer, who knows. But has there been any either funny, embarrassing, interesting, or like really bad experiences with influencers?
No.
Everything's been smooth.
I've been so lucky.
Yeah?
We've sent out products before, and the content's never appeared, kind of thing. So,
Danetta, I've got that later on. Danetta will ask me if that's ever happened.
Yeah, so that's happened, but it's as simple as we'll send you an invoice.
Yeah,
and if you don't pay the invoice or send the stuff back, we'll take it to court.
Yeah, so because they're not £2 machines.
They're not.
It's not 79p moisturiser.
No, but we've been fairly lucky. So I'm waiting. I'm definitely waiting. I mean, I had an experience actually last week. So I've got quite a good community of people on Instagram that I talk to quite regularly. Yeah. But there's some people that you just don't know. So someone had rented one of our machines, because we do the rental program as well. Yeah. And she'd put a video up and she tagged us, and I just automatically, I watched it and said, she's not sworn, she's not done anything like that. So I shared it.
Also, we're not allowed to swear in these videos.
Oh, shit. I can't put it well.
This water's mucky as fuck.
But that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But so I'd shared it and thought nothing of it.
Yeah.
And then I get a message saying, I'm really disappointed. So I was like, okay. And it carried on. It was about the person is a massive troll.
Oh.
And has said some quite horrific things.
Not in that video, but previously.
Yeah, and the woman, so I believe it was a woman, just that's me being wildly sexist, it could have been anyone.
Yeah.
But it was from the community that these influencers were from. I believe it was a woman. She said, she sent me a screenshot of some of the stuff that this woman had said. That was on a story, because I always check the person's feed first, and I thought, it's fine.
Yeah.
But this was on a story, and it was outrageous, some of the stuff that she'd said.
Wow.
So I just went back to her and said, thank you so much for letting me know. Post has been deleted. Yeah. I'll make sure to block the account. And from there, I've asked, there's another blogger, there's another three, four, five bloggers actually, I said, I need a list.
Yeah.
So I need a list of people that are within your communities that are known trolls.
Or this will be why you watched the podcast of me and Danetta on that tattle thing.
It's funny because myself and the woman that works with me at Rug Doctor, we were going through Tattle Life day before yesterday.
So you are. So like these brands are aware of it and having a look at it then. Yeah.
But we mainly look at the massive accounts that are in our area to see just how horrible people really are.
The worst.
Literally the worst. I mean, the stuff that this woman had said that I shared was fucking abhorrent. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So it immediately came down. But then we went on to Tattle Life.
Yeah.
I honestly know what, I've dived into YouTube comments. I know what people say about each other. I'm not naive to the way. One of my best friends, and it's coincidentally my best friend's wife. She's a YouTuber, blogger. She has been for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff that she gets is wild.
I think women get it much worse.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
What disturbed me as well, like what Donetta said, it's mainly women on women. Like, I think really tearing each other down.
You've never ever heard, and it gets so personal. I think as a man, if I sit here and go, Dave, you're a fucking prick.
Yeah, I'd say.
You say.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, and you say, so are you? And we go, do you want to go and get a beer?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
it is much different.
You brush it off, but for a woman, they direct it at kids.
It's disgusting.
And yeah, and it really, I knew it went on, but I didn't realise how, it went on within people that are trying to be professional, trying to be influencers. I knew it went on personal accounts.
Yeah.
Because I know I've got friends that have been catfished and whatever, which is funny.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's
as long as no one's getting hurt.
Exactly.
It's
as long
hilarious.
as no one gets hurt.
Yeah. I'm finding it really quite funny that there's some troll that is awful and disgusting, but they're still saying use a rug doctor, it's great.
And that was literally it. So the stuff that she said, I mean, I want to say, I'm not even going to say it.
Yeah.
Because it's that fucking bad.
Yeah. If people want to hear bad stuff, go and watch the Tattle one me and Donetta did, the podcast.
Yeah. Definitely check that out. It's well worth it. But yeah, and it literally was, the post was really good. And I thought to myself, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I rented this rug doctor, it's great. Look at the state of it. And I was like, oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Free publicity. It's great. Keep doing it, guys. And then I get this screenshot through of these messages, and bless this woman that sent it to me, for bringing that to my attention, because it could have just kept going on and on and on, and suddenly Rug Doctor could be this account that reposts trolls.
Yeah, because you only need 2 or 3, and you know what internet's like.
You're gone.
It's like wildfire.
You're gone. Yeah. So now I've asked. I think there's about 4 people have asked for. Give me lists.
Yeah.
I need to know who these people are. Instagram needs to do a better job as well. I'll be totally honest about it.
Yeah.
Not just Instagram, all social medias need to do a better job of protecting people online. Once, the thing that baffles me is if I have, so this lady's account I reposted coincidentally has now been taken down.
Right.
But she's obviously got 400 other accounts.
Yeah.
Because of course, if you're a troll, of course you have. But
yeah.
It's as simple for Instagram as just blocking the IP of the phone address so it can't set up another account.
Yeah.
But
so the fix is much more simple than what we think.
I believe it to be that simple.
Yeah.
Because surely there's people, they hear everything we're saying when you're on the phone. This is what people want to believe.
They do.
But they actually do.
100%.
They do. And you're telling me that you can't just say, this person said some really terrible stuff before. Let's not let her have another Instagram account.
Yeah. I mean, we aren't going into that too much, though. Again, it's quite subjective. I don't want if someone says to me, you're a bit of a prick, I'm like, do you deserve your Instagram shut off? You know what? I don't know where that threshold would be on what's not acceptable and what is, because people have lots of different opinions, don't they, on what's really bad and what's not so bad.
Yeah. I listened to a podcast on the way up yesterday. It wasn't one of yours. I listened to yours after. And they were talking about social media and sort of how it's really weird because you could have 1,000 positive comments and you'll scroll down and you'll find that one negative one. Mm-hmm. And it will irk you to the core. Yeah,
I knew that's exactly where you were going.
But 90% of the time, that's probably from a 12-year-old kid who has no clue about what they're doing. They're just being a dickhead.
Yeah.
So why do people get so worked up? Because if a 12-year-old kid came up to you in the street and went, I've heard your podcast, mate, it's shit. Yeah. You'd laugh and go, hey, give him a high five, and then you'd be on your way. You wouldn't care. But it's written on this screen which we see as infallible, and they can't be telling us like this guy is the worst thing I've ever seen, and it just enrages you, and it's such a weird world.
It is, and I don't know how to navigate it best. So the way I find it, I always say to the net, like, if anybody has negativity, I always like to think it's just, it obviously has a place. If it's constructive, there's always going to be like, people might message and say, look, it'd be cool if you just had this extra function. Or, this don't work so well for me. That's what brands do anyway. Yeah. You put your product out there, you get honest feedback, and then you make adjustments and changes for the new upgraded product. Otherwise, you'd never get anywhere. Yeah. You bring one thing out and that'd be it.
Still be doing the same thing.
Yeah, so it has a place, but I don't know how to navigate it fully yet.
There isn't a way to
people
navigate.
That are just
I don't
disgusting.
Think it's just.
So that's as far as like bad experiences. That's probably the only one.
That's the worst one, and it's not bad. It just alerted me to how bad things could get, without knowing. And it's just, as a brand, you've got to be difficult. But there's just some things that are out of your control that I couldn't have known that. Yeah, exactly. And it's
One question I got. A lot. I think about 7 people ask the same question. This ain't directed at you. I'm just going to ask you because this could be any brand. But obviously a bit of a bugbear from the influencers' point of views are when brands expect influencers to work for free. Mm-hmm. Now, nobody said Rug Doctor expects that. Yeah. But you're obviously savvy with the branding world, influencer marketing and stuff, and it does go on a lot. What's your thoughts on that?
It all depends on what you deem as free. This is what brands will tell you.
Yes.
Okay, so there's times where I would absolutely work on just a gifted basis. Mm-hmm. So as you mentioned before, they're not £2 machines. No. They're fairly high ticket items. If you're looking at the big one, it's a £300 machine, and you're getting £100 worth of chemical. Yeah. So there will be times, dependent on people's following, that we will work on just a gifted basis. Yeah. And you get to keep the machine, but as in for completely free with nothing back at all, or not even getting to keep products. Yeah,
I think it's a flawed question because I think Rug Doctor don't do that, do they? You don't just send out like a press release or whatever and say, you bloggers, share our stuff, but you get nothing for it.
Oh, no, I wouldn't dream of it.
I think this is where some of the influencers have asked this question because we do get constantly everyday emails from people basically saying, can you share this press release about stuff all the time? And when I say every day, I'm not exaggerating. Every day an email drops in and it's called press release. This new book's coming out, or this new perfume, new moisturizer's coming out. Would you like? We think it'd be valuable for your readers. And I'm like,
what do you know about readers?
Yeah, I'm thinking,
that's
are you sure?
Assumptive way of doing that.
It could be somewhere like this new vegan pizza. I'm like, I don't remember saying all vegan,
but I like pizza.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, so I think that's more of where it's coming from, where people are being asked to work for free, and also they see it as, like you're saying, it's slightly different for Rug Doctor because the machines are expensive machines and stuff. But sometimes you get messages 79p moisturiser. That's why I said it earlier because I just had one recently. A 79p moisturiser for Danetta because she'll love it. Yeah, she would. Maybe, but it's just 79p moisturiser. Why would we do that?
I wouldn't even do it on, I wouldn't just send someone one chemical bottle or one of the sprays and say, promote that for free, because that's not worth your time and effort. No.
The other one is the exposure. Yeah. Work with us. So this is where some people could direct it towards. Not that you do this. I mean, let's just say this is a scenario. Let's play it out. You say, listen, David and Danetta, work with us. If you share our new product that's coming out, we'll put you on our Facebook page that's got 50,000 followers or whatever the number is, and you'll get massive exposure. I think that's a real bugbear for influencers.
To me, that's, again, it's nothing I would ever do because there's just I'm not going to get good content.
No. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
And if I could do the press release thing, I could send it out and share this, and someone would just go, Rug Doctor. Yeah. Put it down, and that's it. What's the point? No. It doesn't get me anything. No. I could put that post out myself and promote the post for £5 and get 100,000 reach on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's done the same thing.
You can do that with a fiver.
Yeah, with a fiver.
Jesus Christ. We need to talk more. but yeah, I think that's where these buggers are coming from. I wanted to get it asked because, again, they all authenticity. If someone says, ask a question, I don't want to be like, oh, you didn't ask him this.
But no, I mean, we do work on a gifted-only basis, 100%.
Yeah.
We do that, but that is dependent on how successful.
And I always think that is okay. Because what I've found as well is some bloggers will be saying, they want me to work for free, and they've sent me this toy that's worth £25, but that's all I'm getting out of it. But then when somebody says to them, oh, all your job is getting free stuff, they're like, no, I have to do the work for the free stuff. I'm like, you can't have it both ways.
It doesn't work both ways.
Like, that toy for £25 that then goes to your child, or you give it away, or you sell it on Facebook, eBay, wherever, whatever you want to do with it. That's the deal. So, the deal is I get a rug doctor, and then I do some work for that rug doctor. That's the deal. If you don't want that deal,
so
don't.
You do £300 worth of work.
Yeah.
So you do what you deem to be the right amount of work for that product.
Yeah. A tweet.
Yeah.
£300 is just a tweet.
A tweet. But that's a question that I have for influencers, if I'm honest, is where do your price points come from?
Yeah.
Completely
made up.
And where, I understand 100%. I'm a big person on don't do anything for free. Get something out. If you can market yourself, if you can do something and get paid for it, do it. 100%. But I have influencers contact me who have a following of 800 to 1,500 people.
Yeah.
And they have a YouTube channel with about 80 subscribers.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You keep doing you. You're doing great. That's fine. I'd love to work with you. I charge £1,000 for a video and £500 for a post.
Jesus.
And it's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But this person here with 2.6 million is charging me £500.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that's probably because the person with 2.6 million is getting 10 £500 things done in a day.
Yeah.
And this one person is probably getting one a month.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But this is another thing that harks back to what I said about being ready. Be realistic.
Yeah.
I value influencers so much, and I value the time, because as I said, I have a very good friend that is one. And I know that, and I edit video on that myself as part of my job, so I know how time-consuming this stuff is.
Yes.
Get paid. Don't be silly.
Yeah.
It's like me going to my MD and going, oh, well, I've really grown the social media channels in 2 years. Can I have £1 million a year now?
Yeah.
He's going to go, try it.
But
he's going to go, well, that figure's ridiculous.
Yes.
How about this? And I'm going to go, yeah, let's work with that.
Yeah.
But I find a lot of the time when I say, no, that's actually out of budget, I'm really sorry. How about we worked with this? I just get air.
It's good that you come back there, because I was going to say the other day I got an email, and I never, I can't say never because I have done it now. I very rarely say anything bad about brands, and I don't think I've ever named a brand and said like that one. Cause I think once I said Co-op are dickheads because they're double the price of everybody else. Yeah. But that's just a fact.
And it's a preference, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But I went on Instagram the other day, and because I'm aware that a lot of my following are people that aren't even as far along in their influencer journey as what I am.
Yeah.
I feel I've got a responsibility to go, hey, here's a few things I found out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what they are. You do what you want with it after that. And I got an email from a huge brand. And I won't name them because I find that a bit dickish, especially when you're talking negatively, because they haven't really done anything too bad. But basically they said, we want to collaborate with you. It was an agent, a PR person. Yeah. We want to collaborate. We've sent your details to the brand. The brand love you. They really want to collaborate. You're thinking, lovely. This is good. This is good for cash money. Good for exposure, good for everything. This is really good. It's a brand that I actually use, I really like. And then I then go back as the influencer, like, oh, this is fantastic. Thank you for your lovely comments. So let me get, went back to him saying, this is what I think would be good, blah, blah, blah. What is the budget? We're kind of talking around this, because asking for money is one of the hardest things to do. Yeah. But you've got to ask, otherwise you're never going to get. And then they come back to you like, oh, no, sorry, there's no budget available for this, but what we will do for you is our PR agency or whatever the label of their name. So not the brand, their actual agency did have an internal SEO guide. I mean, they had about 4 or 5 points that were basically they could look at our website and figure out how we could get better SEO and more traffic and stuff. Okay. So I'm thinking, hang fire. Yeah. I went in Asda later that day, and there's like this brand is everywhere. It's a huge brand. I'll tell you it is after. Yeah. And I'm like, but they've got no budget. I'm thinking, well, that's strange. And then it's not even the brand that are then offering anything else that isn't monetary. Like, they didn't even say they'd send us some free product. It's the PR then saying, oh, we'll help you with your SEO. So I just replied, usually I would just ignore that. I just replied, my SEO could do with some work, which leads me to wonder, like, how did you find me? Yeah. Like, if SEO and my influence, my numbers and all that are so bad, how did you get in touch with me? Yeah. So I'm like, so I don't need what you're offering me.
Because this is a big brand and they found me.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it is really frustrating. And I did go on Instagram and I did basically say to the people that I know that follow me, that aren't as far on in their journey as me. Like they maybe are doing a couple of little free bits because it's cool to be linked with some brands and stuff, which I think that is right in the beginning. But then there's got to be a point where you're like, listen, I don't care who you are or how big your name is. It never quite does what you want it to do anyway. We've been linked with some really massive accounts and we got like 2 followers from it or something. And you're like, So I just went on there and basically did a little bit of a rant. But I wouldn't usually do that. Yeah. But it's happening so often. I think that's where some of these questions come from about. Yeah, like,
I understand the frustration, and it's always the bigger brands that will say they have no budget.
Yes.
Always, because they're not actually managing it themselves. It's their PR agency, like you said, that is doing it for them.
Yeah. I think I mentioned that in my email. I think I did say to him, it's such a shame to know that you're not getting paid either. Yeah.
And it's just like, the reason that there's no budget from the PR company is because the brand paid the PR company so much that it's all taken up there, which is another reason why we do everything ourselves.
Yeah.
Because if you want to talk to Rug Doctor about any kind of promotion, even if you're a retailer and you want to talk, directly about stocking our products in stores, you get through to us. Yeah. You don't get through to an agency at any point.
I like that because that's like the mirror of what you want. So you expect authenticity when collaborating with other people, but you're now saying, like, we provide authenticity as well. You want to talk with us, you're talking with us.
Talk to me, yeah. Yeah. And that's why I run the social media, because who's going to make the decision on who we work with? Me. So why wouldn't I talk to you?
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if this question's for you or for me, actually, this first one. It says, do you feel like it's high pressure being an influencer? I mean, I'm weird. I don't feel pressure, so I'm cool. Like, if people don't like the stuff, then cool.
I mean, I would imagine it. I mean, your pressure is what you put on yourself.
Yeah.
Is it, if it's your sole job, like for you, this is what you do.
Yeah.
You got kids to feed and stuff like that. So there's an element of pressure for you there. There has to be.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you work a full-time job and you run your Instagram as a secondary, how pressured is that? I don't know.
Yeah, it's not really. But I mean, the pressure comes to like the money thing. I mean, money in this influencer marketing thing, money is just the one thing that no one really wants to talk about, but everyone wants to know. Yeah. I have often thought of going the whole hog and sharing every penny I earn and stuff. Yeah. But then I'm like, that'd probably benefit a lot of people. Would it really benefit me? Probably not. I've got to be a little bit selfish. That'd be really risky.
Would go, well, we can't work with you anymore.
Yeah, it's very risky that. But I do be honest. Like if I'm speaking to somebody I spoke to and followed on Instagram and stuff for the last year or like, let's say Jeff. Me and Jeff have known each other about a year now. If he says to me like, what do you think I should charge for X, Y, and Z? Yeah. I'd be like, this is what I'd do, and I will definitely give figures. I'll definitely tell people I'm getting paid this for that. If I know, I don't expect them to go, well, David says he gets this for that, and it is all different. Like. There's definitely times where someone's got in touch with me and said, we want to pay you this much money. And I'm like, you idiots. I'd have done it for half that. No, but do you know what I mean? It's like, so it is such a difficult thing as well, because like what Rug Doctor deem as we're happy to pay this much money for that content. Yeah. Somebody else would be like, oh, we usually pay double, or we only pay half, or
we pay
there
nothing.
Is no, it's really weird, isn't it? It's like
written rule.
I don't know, let's just say taxes. Generally, it don't matter which taxi firm you get. From town to my house is probably about 12 quid. Like, it doesn't really seem, it's roughly. But like with bloggers and stuff, I think why money's spoken about so often is no one really knows.
There's no finite limit.
No, I don't know how much is a tweet worth.
Only with YouTube. Where you're getting money per view and whatever. So that's the only platform where you can really say, oh, well, I get this much because of this. Because I've got this many views. But anything else, there's no.
No, you're just plucking it out. But pressure being an influencer. If all of this, I mean, I kind of proved, I backed myself about 6 months ago when I said, if all of this went away tomorrow, I'll still be fine. Not that I've got loads of money in bank, I am.
But you'll be all
right.
I
mean, like, mentally, the network I have that's nothing to do with this. I've got 5 friends that are grown up, or there's 5 of us. I've got 4 friends that I've grown up with all my life, pretty much. Like, none of them really bothered. They don't know what I do, really, that much.
You'll be fine.
I'm like, it's cool. Like, if all this went away, I would probably just go and get another, a real job. So I don't really but I think maybe I say that because I drill it into my own head to stop me getting pressured. Because I could be sitting at home with Danette being like, oh, if I don't do another video today, we're not going to get no money, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, I think, as I said, I think for you it's different because it's your sole income. But a lot of accounts that I work with, they work full time as well. And my only piece of advice would always be, if you're feeling that it's pressured, don't, because it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, exactly. I do this because I love it.
It's supposed to be fun. If your Instagram or your YouTube becomes a burden and a pressured environment, and you've got to work 37.5 hours a week,
have a break. Reevaluate what's important.
Or see if you can take it to the next level and do what you do. See if that account then becomes your income. So go whole hog. Or something's got to give. If you're feeling pressured for it, you've got to make the right choice.
Definitely. I did a big spiel on Instagram. I think on the David and Danette Instagram yesterday or day before, basically just kicking off about people need to realise this whole world that we live in, the country, the continent, the world, everything, it's all just like, none of it's really that important, to be fair. Like, I mean, there's people that are really struggling and stuff, and then there's the elitists and stuff, but in general, for most of us in this middle space, which is probably most of the population, it's just, we're doing all right. Like, I'm going to go home and have some food and see my kids and that. It's like, that's probably why I don't feel no pressure. I'm okay. And I just want people to, like, if you're in a job and you're doing your 37 hours, 40 hours, 50, 60 hours a week, whatever you do, and you hate it, pack it in. I think I was saying to you when we were just having a walk there, I'm like, what do you, when you're 80-year-old in a nursing home and your grandkids come, do you want to go, can you imagine being 80-year-old, sit there right now, think in your head, close your eyes if you want, I'm 80 years old. That period between being 32 and 33, which I've just picked randomly, can you imagine thinking how small a thing that feels for an 80-year-old to go, why didn't for 1 year I just go completely out my comfort zone and try anything I wanted? Like, that is just like a drop from your whole life. And I like to try and remind myself of that every day, to think, I'm just going to give it everything.
It a shot.
And if it don't work, well, then I'll probably have to start voting and get a real job.
Phone the old job back, said to take you back.
Exactly. Well, I think I tried that once. Said no. Right, next question. Oh, by the way, so these questions, thank you for your questions. I'll shout out a few of you. Home with the Darlings.
Okay.
Pretty sure they've worked with Doctor. Beck's Home. Life with Rachel Rose and Bexter.com are the ones I've got on my screen right now, so you've got a shout out. I think we've answered a few of these, to be fair. Like just general things like, does the number of followers and influence matter? I think we've covered that. This could be interesting if you can think of 3 things off the top of your head of what makes a blogger/influencer stand out. Like, is this some go-to, not necessarily metric, but you think, oh, I like them because of something?
Be a bit different.
Do
Do things, be in your lane, be in your sector of what you're trying to do, but be a little bit different. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's how do you stand out in real life?
Yeah.
You have to treat it as real life. So if everyone's dressed the same and you want to be a little bit different, you want to be noticed, put a hat on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cap wearing prick. That was a comment I once got.
Cap wearing prick.
Yeah, cap wearing prick. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to pack it all in.
It's over. I can't. But yeah, I just do something a little bit different. If you're in the world of cleaning, think of other things that you can clean. If you're in the world of home decor, think of other ways that you can do it.
Yeah.
Make things a little bit different. And just engage. Yeah. And be real.
An interesting one. You can't answer this. Where's the best place for me to hire a rug doctor? These mentioned that they got one from Tesco before, so why don't you just go back to Tesco?
I mean, the best place is you can do it directly from us, and we offer a home delivery service.
Oh.
So the best place is direct from Rug Doctor.
Yes, there you go. That's that one answered. And then there's been other questions like what attracts a company to work with blog. I think a lot of these questions are very same. The one that I was interested to ask though, which I think will be the one before I ask you my question that I ask everybody, is are there any common mistakes that people make, influencers make, that immediately turn you off, other than not being ready, like you've already said?
Common mistake. I think there's a fine line of running an account, because you have to bear in mind what I'm looking for. So I've talked about it a lot, but I'm quite sector bound. So I'm looking at people that run a cleaning account, or accounts like Mrs. Hinch.
Yeah.
You know, there's an army of Hinch accounts now, and they're running in a certain way, and they're all about cleaning with certain products and stuff. For us, that's brilliant, and they're really great to work with. But do be aware that there is authenticity and there is being real on your account, which is very valid. But put some thought into running two accounts. So have a brand account, which is yourself and your work. Have a personal account where you put some stuff.
Oh, interesting.
So there is, authenticity is amazing, but you can go onto some people's stories that have a great account and it's F this, F that. But that's different. You're not in that sector. You're in the real life. Yeah. You know, you're I call you a lifestyle blogger, really. Yeah. Because I think
that might be what we've put in our bio recently.
Yeah, you're chatting shit about your life.
Yeah.
You know, and this is us talking about real life things, but have your account but don't, you know, and complain and rant, and that's fine. But just be aware, because if you're, or be aware of when you're posting it, maybe don't have a separate account, but if you're doing some work for a brand and your stories is, this is great, fuck's sake, I hate this, it's fucking shit.
Yeah.
And I can't believe this, I was running to the toilet and I've shit myself.
Yeah. You've been watching my Insta story.
There was a story last night within this sort of home decor community that I pay quite a lot of attention to. Yeah. And this woman, I think her name was, I'm going to shout her out, actually.
Yes.
I think it's Mother Rendell.
Right.
And I saw it through an account, I don't remember the name. I think it's Amy's Life Through Pictures. I saw it referred to. And she talks about shitting herself. And it's hilarious. But it's hilarious, and she's laughing and it's funny. Yeah. And that's fine. Yeah. You know, because it's engaging and it's funny. And it was truly, truly funny. And I wish that I could share it, but I can't. Right. But that's fine, because it's a joke and people are laughing with it. It's created some buzz around her. Yeah. People are tagging her, atting her, and whatever. Yeah. And it's really funny. But you do get these kind of things that are like, oh, look at, you know, I'm working for whoever. This is great. Love this product. Fuck's sake, hate my life. Don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. And it's like,
I'm seeing people make this mistake a lot recently.
You know, and it's like, I understand that you do only want to run an account because you want the authenticity. Yeah. But I think it's true of everyone to be a bit more aware of what you're putting on.
I think it's being selectively real. Selectively real is still real. Me and Donetta don't get into a heated discussion of an evening and start going, we should share this on Instagram because we're real. Yeah. It's like, no, don't tell people we're getting divorced. We're not.
But I think, again, it goes back to treating yourself like a brand and treating it like a job, if that's what you want from it. Because you don't go into work and sit in a meeting and go, fucking hell, this is shit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to do this. This is crap. Everything's rubbish.
Yeah.
You go in and
You're in work mode.
You're in work mode, and you have to put on that front. What you're thinking in your head is absolutely fine. And what you might go home, like you said to your partner, whatever, go home and go, "Fucking hell, this today was a nightmare."
Yeah.
Or even you go out and get some lunch with someone from work, and you have that conversation, but don't have it right. You don't have it next to your managing director, do you?
No.
You know, so you can't put
yourself,
stuff like, you know, love Coke, it's great.
Yeah.
And then go, oh, everything's shit. I hate my ex.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And my kid's pissing me off, and my dog's bit my knackers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, that's a bad
Will this
day.
clean that up?
Yeah. But, you know, that's a difficult one for me to say, because I said I love the realism of accounts. I love the authenticity. But
yeah.
there is times that oversharing is a real thing, and it's a thing on people's personal accounts. You know, Facebook is a big one for it, isn't it? Where people will be like, "Can't believe this happened to me today."
We're splitting up. I hate him, and then day after, oh my god, I love him so much.
Yeah.
It's
and
like,
it's just
oh,
like,
fuck's sake.
if your real friends and your actual circle will know, and you can call them, and that's what you've got a personal phone for.
Yeah.
You know, your nan that lives in Gibraltar doesn't need to know that you hate everything.
Yeah.
So it's just being selective of when you post.
Yeah.
I think
it is all
important.
true, because like we learned this through YouTube, especially. A lot of people, like a big thing for us, without sounding big-headed, is the relatability, because I like to think I'm just a bang average person.
Yeah.
So I'm like most people, because that's what average
Yeah.
is. And it's like, you know, I like to think that we're quite relatable and stuff, and people tend to think that, oh, I really know David and Donetta.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know,
Do you?
10 minutes of a 24-hour video, which is still all real.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never going to tell you lies. I'm never going to say something's good when it's not. Like, I always just think, if I'm not feeling it, there will be no video. Like, if you ever want to know if, like, can't be bothered or I'm having a minute, it's because there'll be no content.
You're not online.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But when I am on it, I want it to be a place where you click on David and then you're like, oh, what are they doing? I wonder what they're up to. Because we are quite different. We home educate. That's a little bit different to the most people. We work for ourselves. That's a little bit different. We're doing this old YouTube and Instagram and all that. That's a little bit different. So I'm kind of like, this is kind of what we're doing day to day.
Yeah.
I'm not on there to go, oh, me and Dinette have had another blow up falling out, or, you know, oh, my mental health's taking a bit of a dive, which people who are doing the mental health stuff, fantastic, because you're doing a really good job. But like you're saying, think about what you're doing and your brand kind of thing. Like me talking about my mental health isn't something I usually do. So I won't be going, oh, look, today I've been with Rug Doctor and stuff like that. And then, like you say, be on my way home thinking, now I'm going to show the worst side of me kind of thing.
But like you say, you know, and there is people that I've worked with who are their parent bloggers, but it's about parenting with mental health issues.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You know, if you're going to share that on your story that you've had a bad mental health day, and that's after a brand post, that's fine, because that's you and that's your account.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you're doing, and I expect that, and brands expect that, and people expect that from you, and people are following you because that's what they want to know. And they either want to support you or they want to know how they can deal with their own mental health issues. And I love mental health bloggers.
We're talking more about the more sporadic stuff.
Yeah, just the things. Oh, things are blown up, so let me put it on the internet.
Yeah.
And you have to be aware of the platform that you've really got, and if you are trying to monetize it and use it in a lucrative way, you have to be aware of what you're putting on. We can't market a Rug Doctor and just put cleans up shit on it.
Although
it would be amazing.
That would actually be really good.
Like, you know, it's the same reason you can't badmouth. I couldn't badmouth another brand. I can't put by the Rug Doctor, not the whatever.
XYZ.
Because XYZ is a pile of crap.
Yeah. Even though you could think that.
But you know what I mean? It's not like in the States you can do that and it's great. You know, like, you can literally say, drink Coke because Pepsi's piss.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
I wish we could do that, but we can't. So you you got to know what you're doing.
That's it. I think this has been massively valuable, not only for other influencers like myself or people that are further on in the journey. I don't like to say bigger or smaller because it's all relative. Like people that are further on in the journey, people that are only just starting, people that are thinking of starting. I also think it's been massively valuable for other brands, like to look at you're basically today like a rep of Rug Doctor, and the things you're saying, the direction you're going in, the direction Rug Doctor's going in and stuff is massively it's very forward thinking, and I think other people that may be starting their own little businesses and stuff should really think about that. Like, don't just start even if you're starting your own little local business, don't think, oh, how are other people doing it? Think, no, how are you gonna do it? What's gonna make you different? If you do drop in a couple of F-bombs and stuff, that's completely cool if that's the way you want to go about it and stuff. So I think it's been massively. I think it's just been great for a number of people. It's definitely one of my favourite. I don't think I've ever said that before. Actually. But I'm really into this stuff.
Magic?
Yes. That David podcast. It's like magic. So we'll finish my bit on my question that I ask everybody.
Right.
So your name's Sean. I don't know if you want to say your full name or not.
Sean Adlam Knight.
So you've got to change your name now for the rest of your life. Officially. Not officially. What would you call yourself? What name are you going for?
Why is that such a difficult question? And why is it the question that can make you sound like the biggest prick ever?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I asked Jeff this on an unreleased podcast up to this point of recording this, and it took about 40 minutes to answer.
So
I've asked some other people and they were like, boom.
So obviously, I'm a Rug Doctor rep, so I'd change it to Rug Doctor, wouldn't I? That's the brand answer. Right. But in reality, it's really hard. It would have to be something really
cool
or pimpish.
Pimpish?
Yeah.
No, don't say it.
Oh, God, that's really hard.
It is. I mean, you could just say like, oh, John.
John Peters.
Yeah. Why not?
No, so let's do it. So how you must have done it. What your porn name would be?
Oh, right. I mean, if that's the way you want to go, right before we talk about the Rug Doctor, then yeah, cool.
So that would be. So it's the name of. Was it your mother's? Is it the name of your first pet?
Right.
And your mother's maiden name.
So I'd be Molly Stewart.
I'd be Monty Hirons.
See, the method I'm not so sure about, but the name,
Monty
the finished
Hirons,
product.
Yeah. So Monty.
The
big M.
I think that suits you.
Monty. Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah. Definite.
You can do deed poll on there, can't you?
Yeah.
Just change it up, yeah.
Google.
It's only about 35 quid.
Is it really?
Yeah, get your name changed.
I'm taking it. I just need to grow a bigger beard for the full effect. That's brilliant. Right. Is there anything you want to say?
Buy loads of Rug Doctors, buy all our stuff. But no, in all honesty, I hope this is helpful to brands. I hope it's helpful to influencers, because you guys are the future of marketing, and you guys are the future of brand engagement and getting brands out there. Whether you're an account out there with 10 followers or an account out there with 10 million, do what you do, be yourself, but always be ready to engage on a professional level, and do be a bit mindful of what you do with your account, because it's your business, it is your brand.
Yeah.
And value yourself as your brand.
Yeah.
And don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
But also do take yourself seriously, because this is your life. This is what you're trying to monetize, and more power to you.
Yeah.
And just keep on doing what you're doing and making things interesting.
Fantastic.
Because that's what it's all about.
That's brilliant. I've really enjoyed this. Loads of value. And I can't thank you enough for coming all the way up here to come on this little
5-hour
podcast.
train journey from Brighton.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Is that how long it took?
Yeah, and I was sat next to a bloke who was also quite large on the seats, and he didn't like me very much.
No.
I was sat by the window, I had my headphones on, I was sat there on my phone like that, messaging you, I think.
Yeah.
Going, I'm still half an hour away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so So we'll wrap up and we'll go and get some rustic pizza.
Yes, rustic pizza, bobo. So yeah, follow Rug Doctor. Obviously, go and follow David and Donetta, That David Podcast. We're everywhere. I mean, it's literally called Rug Doctor everywhere.
Yeah.
David and Donetta everywhere. That David Podcast everywhere. Because we're great at branding.
Aren't we?
Yeah, that's another tip for you. Keep all your names the same.
Magic.
Yeah. So yeah, this podcast, it's been like magic.
Like magic.
Thank you very much, mate.
Pleasure.
Brilliant. I really enjoyed that. I hate her, she's a bitch.
Mrs. Meldrum, Mrs. Hinch gets it quite bad.
We're not even relevant enough to be called knobheads.
There's people on YouTube, people on Instagram that I don't like.
I'm calling you out as an absolute prick.
Talk about the influencers, children.
Like, this podcast will open up, I'm sure, over time, lots of conversations, lots of debates, which are absolutely fine.
They call it the hate watching.
Like, did your mum not give you enough cuddles when you were a child or something?
They're wishing her unborn baby dead.
This is actually affecting people's life.
She's had social services called on her, like, so many times. And about suicide and all this lot. Well, they need to think about that the next time that they're saying absolutely disgusting things about people.